Hello everyone, this is Dr. Knowles and welcome to this brief presentation. I'm just going to give you some background information for the Part 1 exam. It's time. The Part 1 exam will cover chapters 1, 2, and 3. It will be proctored. You can either take it at the testing center on campus or you can take it from home on your own computer using the Respondus Locked-down browser. And you might remember from week 1, I asked you to download the browser at that time and also to take a practice quiz. If you didn't do it then, you still have time to do it. So what do you need to do to get prepared? Well, first of all, download that Respondus browser. If you've done it, great. Take the Respondus practice quiz. You don't need to study for it. The questions are not difficult. The reason why you take that quiz is to reassure yourself that you have downloaded the browser properly and that you're able to access an exam, so to speak, a quiz. Now, secondly, if you do not want to take it from home or the dorm or wherever you're living, and you feel like it would be better to go to the testing center, you can do that. Remember that the testing center is only open Monday through Friday, and you must make an appointment. The exam will only be open during the week in which it is due. It needs to be completed before Sunday at 10 o'clock, just like all of our quizzes. As I mentioned just a minute ago, the testing center is only open Monday through Friday and you have to have an appointment. So how do you make an appointment? Well, on the right side of our screen on our Moodle course page, scroll down until you find Student Resources. Click on Student Resources, and what you will find on the next page are two things. So those of you that are using the Respondus browser, should you have a problem, there is a place there that you can click to get help with the Respondus browser. Also, that is where you can click to make a testing center appointment. The testing center already has a copy or has access, let's say that, to the exam. So you'll just need to make an appointment. If you need help, again, like I said, click on that Student Resources tab and take a look at what's over there. So how can you study or get prepared for the exam? First of all, let's just make it very clear that there is nothing really different about taking the exam from what you've already been doing with your quizzes, okay? Your quizzes are approximately 50 questions. This exam will have 100 questions. And I'll go over that in just a minute on the next slide. The only thing that's really different is that this is a proctored exam. Okay, so you can't use any study material, so you need to get ready ahead of time. So how can you do that? You can take play the Kahoot games like you've been doing already. You can take the practice Part 1 exam. This Part 1 exam is exactly like your actual exam. However, the questions will most likely be different. But you may even have some of the same ones. They will not have the same answers in the same order, but of course the same answers will be there if it's the same question that you've already taken before, either in one of your quizzes or when you're taking the practice Part 1 exam. In addition to Kahoot, you can also use Quizlet, which some of you have been using already. You can use Cram, use your flashcards, use your end of the chapter practice. If you haven't been doing that, if you've already been doing that, study over your notes. The same thing you've been doing all along. So what are the conditions for taking the exam? You must show your ID. You must be the person taking the exam. You cannot leave the room, so don't get up and go to the restroom and come back. Now, if something causes you to have to leave your computer and leave the room for a moment, something happens. Your children are at home, somebody knocks on the door, something happens. Just talk to the computer and tell the computer what's going on. Because when I review the exams, if it flags it, which it will, if you just tell me what's going on, it'll be easy to see that you're not leaving the room to go check your notes or something else. You cannot leave the Respondus browser to go search the internet. You're not to use notes, flashcards, your telephone, your tablet. This is a proctored exam like any other exam where you're not allowed to use notes. Something that's a little different than if you've used Respondus in previous semesters, it now can monitor your actual keyboard. This came in very handy last semester when a student got up and left, and it looked like maybe the student was not was cheating, but by being able to see the computer keyboard, it was very easy to see that really wasn't the case. Just in case I didn't mention it, on showing your ID, you can use any type of ID. It doesn't need to be your college or your school ID. So just some general information to wrap things up here in a minute. There will be 100 questions that are randomly selected from the test bank of questions for chapters 1, 2, and 3. You'll have 1 hour to complete the exam, which is double the time that you have now when you take quizzes that are 50 questions long. And that's the only difference. So to wrap it up, make sure you are prepared. Do not wait until Sunday to see if your Respondus browser is working for you. Make sure you do that ahead of time, several days ahead of time, just in case something gets in your way, okay? Make sure you're ready. Avoid the stress. Contact me if you have questions. Please don't be the person that needs to contact me at 9:30 on Sunday night because you're having problems. If you have an internet connection that is not very reliable, don't wait until Sunday to attempt the exam. Please take your exam on campus. You don't have to take it in the testing center. You can go to the computer lab if you're close enough to a college campus. You can take it most likely from your car in the parking lot. You can check that ahead of time to see if the internet connection is strong enough. Make sure you are prepared. We're now out of hopefully any concern about weather conditions, but we never know. Weather conditions can also get in the way of our internet connections. So make sure your internet connection is going to be stable for you, that you have the Respondus browser downloaded. You've tested it by taking the quiz. I have a quiz available for you that you can take as many times as you need. You can take it early. You can take it again just to reassure yourself that everything is working properly. And then the exam will be just like your quizzes. It'll just be 100 questions long. And as I said, it's proctored. Contact me if you have questions. Good luck. I know you'll do well.